we need to talk about that.
Tickle.
That's how the saying goes.
What? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, tickle, tickle. I think, Rick, if be concerned if he ever comes to you talking about tickle, tickle. Just, I mean,
hey,
I don't.
All right.
I'm not sure what's going on there.
At the hour and a half mark, I think we've gotten a little.
Having the Macho Man Chris Wolf out there was very good for me. There was something that I really wish Little Guapo could have been there for, because it's a throwback, in my opinion, to the Attitude Era days. Because said trash can that was being used to beat upon Logan Knight got placed on Logan Knight. And they were taking turns just beating him up in the trash can. And it was great.
That's like definitely.
Before we get into it, there's been a little controversy, I'll come to find out. So I'm going to have to address it real quick. Apparently, last week I said some things about our new WWE, the United States champion Logan Paul, that upset some people. So I'm going to set the record straight. Logan Paul as a guy, not a fan. As a wrestler, I can honestly say, and I've said it before, he hasn't had a match yet that hasn't been just an absolute banger. So as a wrestler, I've got respect for the guy. Like, I don't understand. He's got all this stuff going on, and I don't understand all these people that just run out and try to support everything he does. And, they try to do, try to get their prime drinks all the time. And, oh, that's good.
Again, there will possibly be a table there that might or might not have something to do with the match. Come out and see us. I want to say thank you again to everybody in the chat. Thank you to the boys for being here tonight. I want to say thank you to Ross and the boys from Labor 12 for being here. With these guys every time.
What are there?
Okay.
And then he freaking matches.
You were talking trash about Drew McIntyre the other day.
I was.
Easy.
Okay, no. I was just saying he is not number one pick contention.
That's not true.
I mean, but
okay, stop this violence.
All right.
No more Russell on Russell violence. Unless I'm doing it.
That's funny. All right, so anyways, stuff.
So you had a B+ on Raw, B- on SmackDown, had a B+ and a B. You want to know what show got an absolute S+ in my opinion?
SCP, that's the one.
That's right. Squared Circle Pros Tornado Slam. What a show. From start to finish. Damn.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We had, beat him down and did so ugly.
Yeah, it did him so bad that, he came home after one BCW outing and was like, Emilio Guzman, that's my man, till today wearing a War Chief shirt. So you saw how messed up.
Emilio, I got love for you, bro, but it's a cool shirt.
You see how messed up that walloping was, but
you don't have to. Please just let me finish the conversation. I don't want to do this. I don't. No! Look at this! This belongs to me! Not you! None of this! Jim, this belongs to me! Me! I earned this! Not you!
really?
I was going to say, apparently there's some kind of football game going on tonight, huh?
Thaddeus and Elise, they owe me and Malia dinner now, so get ready.
W right there.
So it sounds like it's a pretty solid
Raw. We appreciate all you guys. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you guys. Yeah, and it was a great Raw. Like, it was, I kind of took a break from wrestling for a little bit, but I started getting into it again this Thanksgiving, and
even beat him. Sorry to say, but he's a.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to tonight's episode of the Not Your Average Mark Wrestling Podcast. I am your host, Guapo. With me is the face that runs the place, the man himself, Rick Elsey. Rick, what's up, man?
Man, not much. Well, that's a lie. There's a lot up. There's going to be a big day tomorrow, and so it has been quite the week leading up to this. It's always crunch time that final week, but this my personally it most people know or people should know that a couple weeks ago I broke my leg. And so I'm, been hobbling around, going to doctor's appointments at the same time, trying to do everything that I already do to get ready for this. And I've been kind of fighting a cold. So it's been an interesting build up to spring break, the literal version. But we're going to have a great show tomorrow, and I'm excited for tonight so we can talk about it. I can tell you that as of about 3 hours ago, Tito Santana and Greg the Hammer Valentine are checked into their hotels. They are here, and tomorrow's going to be a lot of fun.
I cannot wait. Of course, want to start the show out correctly. Want to say thank yous to Ross and the boys from Labor 12 for our intro outro music. Track's called Head Rush, album's called Monsters. You can get that anywhere you get your streaming music, or you can check them out at Labor 12. That's laborxii.com. Want to say thank you to American Legacy for our merch. We will have our merch there. We're going to have caps. We're going to have skull caps. We're going to have beanies. We will have them there at the show tomorrow night. So make sure you get you some Not Your Average Mark merch. Big thanks to American Legacy for helping us out with that. I want to thank all of the guests this week. We've had Nikki Chase, Ryan Justice, Stonewall Remsen. Last night we had the OTB herself, Lilith Blood, and of course you, Rick. Thanks for being on the show tonight.
Absolutely. Thanks to the Not Your Average Mark podcast for doing this week run up. This is a big part of SCP that this week run up to the show, getting us out there. And so I'm very appreciative to yourself, to the boys, to the guy, everybody. Just thank you for what you do.
Well, and I appreciate that. I'm humbled. We love doing it. It's so much fun, and the new faces we get on the podcast doing this, it's just getting to learn more about people. We enjoy doing it. Want to say what's up to Daddy Boss 74. He's got the right idea. Says come on Saturday, and I couldn't agree more. Want to say what's up to Camino in the chat. Says hello Guapo the guy, Mr. Elsey, and everyone else not sitting on a cushion. Good reference. This Saturday is going to be every bit of the word legendary. Leave no stone unturned, guys. Get out there and support indie wrestling. Absolutely. This show is going to be one. If you've never been to an indie wrestling show, this is the show to go to. And I'm going to tell you why. Because not only are you going to get to see the entirety of the card we're fixing to talk about, but if you get there early, if you make your plans to be there early, at 4:30, we're opening doors and you get the opportunity to meet and greet with WWE legends and Hall of Famers Tito Santana and Greg the Hammer Valentine, members of what may be the very best intercontinental feud ever.
Yes, very much so. Very much so. They both went into the Hall of Fame together in 2004. They've been connected throughout the years, and it's going to be a lot of fun to have them both in the same building and be able to just kind of experience that history.
Well, and I'm hoping, and you might know as you've had the opportunity to speak with them, I'm hoping there's not still some of that animosity from back in the day, because they had a hell of a feud.
Yeah, they did. They really did. They traded the Intercontinental title, several cage matches. That was of course, that was a different time. That was absolutely a different time. Than wrestling has changed a lot since those days. It's definitely an old school blood feud that I'm very humbled that we are able to host both of these men for spring break. And so I thought to honor them and to have this big event, we would stack this card full of grudge matches. And so, there's a lot of animosity to be had tomorrow night at Jake's Back Room.
Absolutely. And I'm going to throw this out there and understand I make no promises, but I'm trying. I'm going to do what I can. You know, I'm bringing a little extra in the wallet. I'm going to try to get a few minutes with each of them for the podcast. So be watching the socials, because if I can make it happen, that's where it's going to be. But I'm definitely going to be trying to talk to them and getting them, you know, if I could get them to say they're not your average marks, how cool would that be?
That would be great.
So we're talking about this card and everything that's going into it. Of course, this is Square Circle Pro Spring Break, the literal version. Tomorrow night, Jake's Back Room. Like I said, the meet and greet doors open at 4:30, so you want to get there early. General admission doors at 5:30. Our first bell's at 6, and $10. You cannot do better than that anywhere, ever. I'm telling you.
Nope. $10 for the ticket to get into the building. You must have a ticket to the show in order to attend the meet and greet. So $10 is going to get you to the table. And then if you want to meet Tito Santana or Greg the Hammer Valentine, it's $25 each to meet them. $40 if you want to do both. And so then there's a separate price list for like pics, autographs, certain merchandise autographed. You know, there's a whole different deal, but we'll have all those posted. They'll be posted at the entrance, and people will be able to take a look at it, decide what they want to do.
Well, I've given it a long bit of thought, and I have a replica Intercontinental Championship belt right down there, and I do believe I'm bringing that with me to get it signed by the greatest Intercontinental Championship feud ever.
Hey, that'd be awesome to have that and have both Greg and Tito's signature on it. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
I think that's what I'm going to try to do. And you guys should do the same. $40 to meet them both, to meet and greet with Tito Santana and Greg the Hammer Valentine. It blows my mind. And speaking of mind blowing, let's get into this card, man, because it's going to be a wild one.
Would you like to start with a surprise?
I always want to start with a surprise. What do you got for us?
All right. Well, you know how we do this pre-show. At 5:30, we go live on Facebook for heckyeahradio.com.
Yes.
We generally have a match. Well, this time, we're not having a match. This time, we're having a special guest. And this guest will be live in Jake's back room to address the crowd and kind of give us an update on his status, his ability to wrestle and or no. But Elsey Mox will be at Jake's back room tomorrow night.
Okay. Elsey Mox making his way, man. I've been wondering how Mox is doing. I know the knee injury was rough. So I'm happy to hear he's going to be there. And in the pre-show, so like he's going to address the crowd first rattle out of the box.
The floor belongs to him. So he's going to address everybody. So that should be fun to see Mr. Mox, see Game Time. And then when we go live at 6 o'clock on heckyeahradio.com, and we're in the building with hopefully a packed house, we are going to start the night with the official coin flip for Boricua Warfare. And so we will have Team La Migra and Team Rivera in the ring for the official coin flip to determine who has the advantage going into the cage.
We may end up with an early fight. If you're going to get the whole team in there before the fight, it may get wild.
Spring break. It's spring break. What are you going to do?
So coin flip first thing, and as soon as we start the show, you're bringing both teams out. We're going to do
both
a coin
teams
flip.
Out. We're going to have the coin flip. That's right. So we will know right from the get-go which team has the advantage.
Man, oh man, for those that haven't been to one of the matches, to put these two groups of people in the same place at the same time is just asking for something to happen. And if it happens to Chris Watson, that's okay. We don't worry about that.
Well, he certainly knows how to win friends and influence people. So
if that's what we're calling it, sure.
But would you like to know which match is first?
Yes. What match? Like I've got my list of matches, but I'd love to hear
the card. Let's go down the card.
Let's do it.
The opening bout of spring break is going to be the women's tag team match. We'll have
Okay.
Victoria Mosh and the debuting Kay Daver taking on Skylar Slice and Nova Phoenix.
That's a good opener. And I've been saying it for the last couple of days. I've had a chance to go through YouTube, watch a little bit of Kay Daver because I haven't had the opportunity to see her live. But man, her and Victoria Mosh are going to be a force to be reckoned with.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Following that match, we will have the handicapped grudge 2-on-5 challenge. It will be the Gallery of the Damned, Tomas Silva, JKM, Poison, Colt, Alistair, accompanied by Lucas Scratch. They will be facing Ram Rock and Ryan Riven, Downfall Cathedral.
So is this just an all-out brawl? Like, what are the rules for this match?
It's a tag match. It's 2-on-5.
Okay. Well, you know, we tried to do one of these matches at Collision Course, and all of Gallery of the Damned showed up and started fighting with Ryan Riven, and that's kind of what sparked this.
Well, you know, and here's the thing. Yes, it's technically a tag team match, but I don't think that Downfall Cathedral is going to be too upset if everybody wants to kind of get in there. You know,
no,
so, and I will tell you this as well. I have already instructed almost. I mean, we've got our referees. We've got. By the way, in case I hadn't mentioned, our female referee Destiny, who was hurt, she is returning on this show.
Right.
So Destiny will be back. But we have Destiny as a referee. We have Johnny Michelson. We have Jimmy Pope. Jarrett Smerritt is going to be debuting as a referee this time. And of course, we have our head referee, Kyle Farrell. So our referee team, we've got 5 refs, and I have already discussed with them, this is spring break, the literal version. There's a lot of grudge matches, so some leniency.
Okay. Well, I'm looking over at the chat, and Ryan Riven in the chat right now. Ryan, man, I cannot wait. I'm looking forward to seeing you and Ramrock get in there and just lay waste, man. I can't lie. I'm backing you guys.
Well, I'll tell you this. The Gallery of the Damned definitely lit a fire.
Yes.
Under these guys. And so I have a feeling that many potatoes will be thrown.
Well, I have a lot of respect for the Gallery of the Damned. I do. Lucas Scratch has put together a hell of a team. But in my head, this is like telling the Hardy Boys to go over there and piss off LOD. It's not a good idea.
Yeah. So then we will have our first of 3 first-round tournament matches.
Okay.
We will have the Art of Royalty, King Kizzy and Donovan Pierce facing Los Espectaculares, which is Manila Dragonfly and Payasito Jr.
This one, I'm excited about this match, and I'm going to tell you why. And I've said it a couple of times this week. Just the difference in styles from all 4 of these guys is going to make this a hell of a match in and of itself.
Yes.
You know, you've got Art of Royalty. They're big, they're agile, and they know how to use the ring. And then you've got Los Espectaculares. See, 5 days in a row I said it right.
You did. Very good. Very good.
But, Manolo Dragonfly is a powerhouse, and you've got Payasito Jr., who is all about the high-flying lucha. I mean,
Yes.
There's just so many different styles in this, and it's exciting to see how that's going to happen in the middle of the ring.
Yes, it is. I'm excited about it. I was very impressed with Art of Royalty when they made their debut last year. Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to bring them back in the year, but now they are here, and they're part of the tournament, and I don't want to pick a side here, but I have to say I want to see more of Art of Royalty for sure. So regardless of the outcome here, I'm hoping that I can get them secured for future dates.
Well, they're going to have to catch Payasito Jr. in order to do that. So
that's a good shout. That's a good shout. We also have on tap a singles challenge. We have and talk about catching people, talk about speed. Emilio Guzman versus Nathan Estrada. I mean, that right there, look, this is one of several matches on the show that low-key might be a show stealer.
No,
because just the talent involved in these matches, and this one specifically. Take all you can say all you want about the attitude of Los Carnales. Okay, Emilio Guzman, JC Bravo. I guess they're kind of feeling a certain way right now. I don't know, but Nathan Estrada is a hell of a talent, and he's gonna Nathan really, he's been with SCP for a little bit. He's kind of hit and miss as far as like appearances. We can't get him all the time. He's kind of in high demand. But this is going to be one of the first times that he's really been able to showcase his skills one-on-one in a singles environment, because generally he's either been part of a multi-man match or he's been in battle royals. So I'm excited about this match because I feel like Emilio, we know he's a great talent. Okay. Yeah. It'll essentially, could be a 2-on-1 because JC is out there. But at the same time, I'm just excited to see this match get in the ring because of the talent involved in these two guys.
No, absolutely. And I was going to point that out, that while I am excited to see these two great talents go at it one-on-one, are we going to see a one-on-one match? Because you never know when JC Bravo is sitting outside the ring.
That's true. That's true. But I'd like to think that, with as big an ego as Emilio Guzman has, I would like to think that he would like to tout that he did that on his own. So we'll see. We'll see. Our second tournament match involves the debut of the product James Derrick and awesome Austin Jordan, Pure Genetics from the Houston area. And they'll be facing Reggie Lincoln and Stonewall Remsen, the Riot.
And we had Stonewall on Wednesday, and I mean, he made it pretty clear that they talk a lot. I believe his words were flash in the pan, and he's ready to quench that spark there. So it's going to be a fight.
Look, this is going to be, as far as a match goes, there's a lot of talented people on this card, but more than talent here is just going to be raw power. And this is 4 guys who can throw down.
Oh yeah.
And so I have a feeling this may be one of the stiffest matches on the show.
You're talking about potatoes. And talking about pure professionals, in the ring. Got to say what's up, Nikki Chase in the chat. Nikki, welcome to the show. Glad you could join us tonight. Looking forward to your match. It's going to be good.
Yes. And speaking of Nikki Chase, the next match on the show
Look at that segue.
Women's Fatal 4-Way. So we have Nikki Chase, we have Aaron Eris, we have Morgan Mercy, and we have a 4th opponent to be determined. Now, I know I've given you a hard time this week as far as, naming who this person is going to be.
I've been trying.
I will tell you, I will give you a couple of clues. Okay. I will give you a couple of clues. This will be a return appearance for her.
Okay.
So we have already seen her before. And I will just say, the one person in this match who really needs to be worried is Morgan Mercy.
Okay. I got like 3 names in my head. At least it's down to 3 names now. Either way, this match is going to be great. And one of the things I've really touched on during this week talking about this is the things that are there to prove. Aaron Eris coming back after being gone for a while. So she's, ready to show I'm back. Morgan Mercy, a fight every time she's in the ring from start to finish. And of course, Nikki Chase, ready to get out there and show all of Lubbock, Texas and that women's division why she is the trophy case. And then there's the 4th person that could be one of any 3 people. So
yes, every single person in this match has something to prove. Every single person in this match wants to take the next step forward. And this is one of those bouts where whoever comes out on top of this could easily take a step closer to a championship match with our current champion, Misty Marks.
And I don't know about the fourth one, but I can say that all three of the other ladies involved in this match, absolute superstars, each one of them. So it's gonna be a match.
Yes, it's going to be a good time. It's going to be a good time. And then we have our final of the 3 tournament matches. TJ Slater and Nate Collins versus Justin Taylor and Marquise Jackson. Now, aside from tournament issues, there is some serious animosity going on in this match.
Yep.
Okay. There's also a question of how on the same page are Justin and Marquise. Justin and Marquise had a interesting relationship headed into Marquise becoming Justin's mystery partner at Pieces for Quitters. They were able to get the win on TJ Slater and Nate Collins that night. But then later on in the Gauntlet Armageddon, there was a little bit of a miscommunication between the two. So I think the question here is, well, even after that, at Collision Course, they were part of the championship scramble and got sideways there too. So with this match having already been signed, and now these two, last time we saw them, didn't look too copacetic, how is this match going to go?
Well, you've got to think that Justin has already been on the phone. They've already talked. You know, Justin, the consummate professional. You know, they call him the living proof for a reason. Yes. So I've got to think that he's been in contact and said, "Hey, we've had our problems, but here we are. Let's, we've got a match to win. Let's go be tag team champions."
Yeah, I get that. Well, we'll see. Now we also have a tag team grudge match. We have Code, the creators of Destructive Entertainment, or Dangerous Entertainment, excuse me. Logan Knight and Rob.
That wasn't
Morris.
the D word I was going to use, but we'll go with that one.
Logan Knight and Rob Boris versus Certified Wild Card, Jeb Bingham and Draven Reeves. Another match that I will say, low key, might steal a show. And so I'm excited about this one. There's a little bit of animosity here too, but I'm more excited about just watching these 4 guys work because they're both, both teams. The combination of these 4 guys is just talent personified.
It is, absolutely.
I'm really excited for it.
Well, and for those that are watching, those that are listening, if you were at Collision Course, you saw that there's 0 love lost between Jeb Bingham and Code. Like, it was the things that he did with Rob Boris's scarf, I can't talk about because of community standards. I'm just saying.
Well, hey, at Jake's back room, there are no community standards.
That's true. That's very true.
Anything can happen.
And I'm thinking with a match like that, anything will.
Now here's a match. The next one that I want to talk about. This is one that I personally am looking very forward to just because of the elements involved. 2 years ago, and matter of fact, 2 years ago at spring break, Bobby Venom said goodbye to SCP, self-imposed retirement. This is his first match back in 2 years. And his opponent is Nobi Bryant.
Like, I can't. Like, hey, Rick, I'm going to come back and I want to go against Nobi Bryant. And I ain't wrestled in 2 years, but let's go against Nobi Bryant. If anybody can pull that scenario off, based on everything I've had the opportunity to watch, it's Bobby Venom.
He called me. He said, I want to come back. I'm ready to get back in the ring. I've got the itch. And, he said, just set me up something. And so I pitched some people, and when I said Nobi Bryant, Bobby lit up, and he's like, "Yeah,
Okay.
let's do that." So I'm super excited for it. I think that it's going to be a good match. Bobby Venom is very much a veteran.
Yes.
And whereas Nobi Bryant is not a rookie by any means, Bobby Venom has a completely different style approach than Nobi Bryant does.
Yes.
Nobi Bryant is far flashier of a wrestler, whereas Bobby is very hard nosed to the grindstone, very much a mat technician. So this is going to be another clash of styles.
And talking about, going back and watching some of Bobby Venom's stuff, like that's what I noticed. He's a come in, whip your ass and leave kind of guy.
Yeah. I'm excited for it. Grudges. Back to Grudges. We have a mystery partner tag team match.
Oh,
Bam
yes.
Bam Malone and Nolan Phillips will be taking on Ryan Justice and a mystery partner. And of course, Paula Fate will be in the corner of Ryan Justice. And I told you the other night that I didn't know who it was.
Right.
And because it's up to Ryan. But I have heard some buzzing.
Really?
And the last that I heard was that the person that has stepped up, and I have heard that it is official. And Ryan wouldn't tell me, he wouldn't confirm, but I heard that the person that stepped up has a serious hatred for Nolan Phillips.
Well, that doesn't narrow down anything.
When I heard that, I wanted to grab the phone book and just throw it on the table and be like, pick somebody,
I mean, hell, I want to drop him on his head. I mean,
are you the partner?
I'm not the partner.
Is it?
I'm not the partner.
Well, it's not me.
I'm not the partner. Not at all.
Well, I have a feeling that Ryan probably made a good choice.
I would think so.
Yeah, because I've been thinking about it myself, and I've been trying. I thought to myself, well, who's not on the card? And there's several people that aren't on the card that are normally there. So, I don't know. It may not be too terribly easy to pick. I just know that from what I have heard, Nolan might want to start getting worried.
Well, and I've made the joke all week that there's, any number of people that would want to step up next to Ryan Justice just for the opportunity to get at Nolan Phillips. But let me, in all complete honesty and sincerity, say that there is any number of people in that locker room that would want to step up because it's Ryan Justice, because of what he brings to the table and the way he pushes West Texas independent wrestling. So I do, in all seriousness, want to say there are a list of people that would step up just for that.
Well, it'll be interesting to find out who this person is.
It will.
But no doubt, regardless, should be a very interesting match.
Oh, yeah.
And then we have the triple threat for the SCP West Texas Women's Championship. We have the Divas of Destruction, Raisa Clark and Olivia Vegas. Not as a team, as individuals, trying to take the championship from our champion, Misty Marks. And for me, the real question of this match is, how long do Raisa and Olivia work together before they turn on each other?
No, absolutely. I've been saying it all week. They're a great tag team, and put the two of them in the ring with Misty Marks, and they're going to do everything they can to disable Misty Marks. But this is not a 2-on-1. This is a triple threat. So at the end of the match, there's one champion.
That is true.
So,
that is true. There can be only one.
This is the Highlander match.
It is. It is.
Oh, and that's you hit it right on the head. That really is the question: is at what point do you stop working as a team and go into business for yourself? Because I mean,
Yeah.
at
Look,
the end of the day, you're trying to get that championship.
only one person can wear the title.
That's right.
So, at some point that's going to come into play. It's just a matter of how long does Misty have to contend with the 2-on-1 before she catches a break when the two decide to go at each other.
Well, and Misty is, they're not just going to come in and steamroll her. Misty is a fighter through and through, and she is bound and determined to walk in with the strap and walk out with it. Oh, wait,
There's
I said
something,
strap. I meant belt.
and there's something that I noticed about Misty at Collision Course when she was facing Maserati. And I don't know if you caught this or not, but as I watched the match, I noticed that the longer the match went, the tougher Misty got.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a trait that used to be associated a lot with Greg the Hammer Valentine.
Yep.
Gorilla Monsoon used to say it on commentary all the time. The longer the match goes, the harder it's going to be to beat Greg Valentine. If you're going to beat him, you got to do it early.
Yep.
And I would suggest that the Divas of Destruction, if they have any strategy at all, it should be eliminate Misty as quick as possible and then discuss amongst yourselves who's going to walk out as champion.
And that's something we could absolutely see out of this. Before we move to the next match, going to look over at the chat. BCW Texas in. Mike, what's up? Says, good evening, gentlemen. I'm not sure which one of us he's talking to.
Well, gentlemen can be plural.
So. I've been called a lot of things in my life.
Hey, a big shout out to Mike since he's here. Mike today did a great service for myself and for SCP. Mike was the one who corralled the legends, got them picked up, got them to their hotel. So big thanks to Mike for that. For being there and helping take care of our legends. That just great job. Very thankful for that.
Appreciate you, Mike. That's awesome.
And so that brings us to another mystery, and that is the no holds barred for the SCP championship, Sam Stackhouse versus, in my opinion, whichever poor soul has signed up for this match, because it's going to take some real testicular fortitude to get in here with Sam Stackhouse in an environment where there are no rules.
More than testicular, it's going to take Mick Foley. I mean, like Rick, you've been in the business for a long time, and you've been a fan of the business longer than you've been in the business. So I've got to ask you, who in all of your roster, who wakes up one morning and says, you know what I'm going to do today? I'm going to challenge Sam Stackhouse in a no holds barred match for his belt.
Off the top of my head, I can only think of one, and he is no longer competing right now.
Okay.
Because that is absolutely something that Damien would have done.
I hear that. Looking at the chat, Mikey's saying Sam is dangerous regularly, but I've seen the man go no holds barred with Abyss, and it was nuts. I feel for the opponent. I can't even fathom where this match is going to go. I've made my jokes. I've said it's going to, go to Bahama Bucks and down to Copper Caboose and everything, but seriously, this match could go anywhere.
See, you joke, but that's absolutely a possibility.
Sam does like Bahama Bucks. I'm just...
That's where we need wireless cameras.
Yes.
We need to be able to follow that action out to the parking lot should that happen.
I mean, they may fight in the back of a pickup.
They could. Who knows? So yeah, that would bring us to Boricua Warfare.
I'm so excited for this match.
Now, what people should understand is this is basically traditional war games rules.
Okay.
The match can only be won by submission. Okay.
Okay.
4-on-4. We're going to start off with one member of each team, and then 2 minutes later, we're going to get another member of whichever team won the coin flip advantage.
Which that's first right
at
out
the
of the
very
box.
beginning of the night. And so then once that member comes in and it's 2-on-1, 2 minutes later, we're going to get somebody else from the other team. And it'll go that way until all 8 participants are inside the ring. And at that moment, submission can take place.
Oof. Do you know what's going to happen in that cage before you get all 8 people in there?
Lots of carnage, I would think.
You know, we heard about body bags and chains and collars and.
Oh, by the way, it's a cage match, and weapons are absolutely legal.
So not only do you have the cage, which isn't it's a weapon all by itself.
Oh yes.
But other weapons are absolutely allowed as well. And
this is not a blue or black steel bar cage. This is chicken wire and mesh. And so, you know, there could be some torn up faces, arms. I mean, yeah, this is legit.
That's gonna man. So I can't, like, I've seen some of them together in the ring. Like I've seen Island Rage going up against, 50 and Diablo. But I've seen who hasn't seen Lil and Gringo go at each other? Like, I haven't seen it physically. I've seen it verbally though. I saw something Lil put out today. Lilith Blood put out a hell of a promo today. If you haven't seen it yet, go check it out on socials, because damn.
I will tell you first and foremost, as the person who gave Lilith Blood her start in the wrestling business, I used to book a promotion here in Amarillo called WWA. And the Lilith Blood El Gringo Loco feud started there. Wow. And that was back in 2007. And so these two have been on again, off again, on again, off again, against each other for almost 2 full decades. And at some point, this is going to end, but it's not going to end well.
No, it's not going to end pretty for sure.
This could be it, or this could just be another chapter in a feud that has seen some of the bloodiest and most violent matches that I've been a part of. And I think that Gringo knows exactly which buttons to push. And if you saw Lilith's promo that she put out online today, you will know he has pushed all of the buttons. And she is ready to do some damage.
She is, and I have no doubt that she's going to. I said it yesterday. One of the buttons he pushed, and I can't help but think that this was a big button. Gringo himself, putting out promos as well, told Damien that he's going to put Lil back in the kitchen making sandwiches where she's supposed to be. I still want to see this. This is what I want to see. I want to see Lil knock out 50, lay him out. I want to see her take out Chris Watson, lay him down on 50, and then knock Gringo out, lay him on top, and say, "There's your damn sandwich." Like I see it play out in my head, and it's awesome, and I want to see it.
Well, maybe they'll listen. Maybe they'll listen to your strategy.
My
But I
strategy is kick the hell out of Chris Watson. That's my strategy for this match.
all in all, I mean, from top to bottom, this is a killer lineup.
It is.
This is a stacked event. And I just am so incredibly excited, not only to see these matches, not only to host Greg the Hammer Valentine and Tito Santana, but just to witness the history that's going to take place here. This is going to be amazing.
It is, absolutely. And as we're throwing out kudos and flowers, I do need to throw some out to you, Rick, because, you know, in this show by itself, 11 members of the female roster wrestling on this show. So kudos to you and to Medusa, the women's GM, for putting this together.
I was going to say that is not just my accomplishment. Working alongside Medusa, who is our women's GM for SCP. Medusa knew when I originally approached her to become the GM of the women's division, she knew that my long-term vision was to create a steady, cohesive women's division for West Texas, because there is no other promotion in West Texas who showcases a full-fledged women's division. We have 3 matches every event that involve the women. 3 out of our 6 main events are women's matches. And on July 19th, we will take the final step of our 2.5-year evolution with the women's division when we present Equal Rights and Lefts, the first all women's West Texas event for SCP and the city of Lubbock.
Well, now, and when I should point out to everybody, when you say all women's event, we're not just talking wrestlers. We're not just talking in-ring. We're talking refs. We're talking commentators. We're talking ring announcer. Every facet of that show completely done by the women.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Would you like a tiny little nugget of a tease for Equal Rights and Lefts?
Well, yeah.
Just a little one?
Little one.
We are going to have 2 female ring announcers for that show.
Okay.
The first ring announcer, who will handle the first 3/4 of the card, is the ring announcer for Mission Pro Wrestling, Eliana.
Okay.
And the ring announcer for the last few matches of the show, the kind of I guess you could say the headliners, is, and get ready for this, this is a big one. Back in the early 90s, there was a female ring announcer for the World Wrestling Federation named Mike McGurk.
Okay, yeah.
She is coming out of retirement to announce this show.
No kidding.
Yes.
Damn. You go all out with it. You and Medusa making some stuff happen now.
Yeah. And that is just a tiny taste of what is in store on July 19th. There's going to be more announcements coming. We still have Tornado Slam after spring break. On May 4th, we have Tornado Slam. So we have to get through that. But between now and through Tornado Slam, little things are going to be taking place to kind of get things ready. And by the end of the Tornado Slam event, Equal Rights and Lefts will have taken enough shape that the 2 months in between Tornado Slam and Equal Rights and Lefts, we will have that much time to really push this event and get this event out there. I expect that weekend, July 19th, Equal Rights and Lefts, followed by Headlocks and Heat Waves the next night on July 20th. 2 nights back to back at Jake's Back Room. I expect to be the biggest wrestling weekend in West Texas history.
Oh, no question. And I'm gonna look over to the chat for a second because there's some definite truth going on over here. Of course, we start with Seraph, who says his strategy for Boricua warfare is to stay the hell out of it. Smart guy. Daddy Boss 74 says this is like Lubbock's own WrestleMania, and you're not far off, man. We're in WrestleMania season, and this has that big match, big show feel of WrestleMania. Got Camino in the chat saying the women's division is legendary. Absolutely, that is the right word for it. And then we have a question, which I will turn this question over to you. Mikey's saying he does have a question about the new guy from 101. What is he about, and can he be trusted?
Well, the person that you're talking about is Elufio. He is a recent graduate of Pro Wrestling 101. Brian Rivera trained him, and he is making his professional debut in this match. And I have spoken to him several times. And, even before he made the save at Collision Course and kind of inserted himself into this, his debut was always intended for this event.
Okay.
But he was added to this team when he chose to involve himself in what was going on. So I believe he is ready. I've seen him in the ring. And I think that he is bringing a hunger and a desire with him to, make an impact in his first professional match. Now he's taken a huge bite, for this first match, but sometimes you have to test yourself, and this is absolutely going to be a test for Elufio.
It is, and we talked about Bobby Venom coming back and saying I want to go against Noby Bryant. When your first match is Boricua warfare, it's either going to be the beginning of a great career, or it's going to be his last match.
Yep, that's very possible.
There's going to be some craziness going on in that ring this Saturday night, and everything we've talked about. $10 at the door. All of these matches, all of this insanity, all the grudge matches, all the grudges that are going to be worked out maybe in these matches. You see it all for $10 at the door.
And in talking about the affordability of the ticket itself, that's a good thing, because that frees you up to spend your money on some other things. And I just happen to have one of those things if you'd like to see it. If you've been following our match announcements on Facebook, the match announcements this time were sent out in the form of comic book panels.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, very unique and original. Blind Ambition Studios did those for us, and we have compiled into at the show
earlier, very limited supply on these.
Limited supply, yes. There's a very limited, less than 50 available.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be a collector's item.
Absolutely. And you got Mikey in the chat already saying I got to get me one. I would say that, but I know a guy that knows a guy that has already taken my money. So
I believe you've already paid for yours.
Well, Rick, we've come up to that 8:55 mark. So as I do anytime we have a guest on, I want to give you a chance to talk to the people in the chat, talk to everybody that's going to be at the show, the wrestling world in general. My friend, the floor is yours.
Well, I appreciate that. And first off, I want to thank everybody in the chat. Thank you and the crew for Not Your Average Mark. Tomorrow night is going to be a milestone event. It is the literal beginning of a legendary year for SCP. We had the January show, and that's always a nice kickoff. But this is really the beginning because of the inclusion of the legends, which I will tell you is going to be a reoccurring theme this year.
Really?
There are more legends to come.
Okay.
And it's going to be a fun year. So it all starts here. I highly recommend that you be at Jake's Back Room tomorrow night, 4:30 for the meet and greet. Tito Santana and Greg Valentine. Doors open for regular non-meet and greet patrons at 5:30. We go live on Heck Yeah Radio's Facebook for the pre-show, which we will have Elsey Mox as a guest. And then we will go live in the building and on heckyeahradio.com at 6 up straight. And you're going to get 3.5 hours of the craziest action you've ever seen. And we will prove once again, as we do every time that we go out, SCP is the wrestling destination of West Texas. And we are going to show up, show out, and tear that mother down.
I don't think it can be said any better than that. Just make sure you're there early. Get your meet and greet in. I'm still wrapping my head around the fact that I'm going to get the opportunity to meet them. It's so awesome. And then finding out that there's going to be more. Mikey in the chat says yeet. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me get it right.
Oh, we're going to be yeeting all over the place.
Okay. Yeah. I think there may be a yeet or two going on. In all honesty, if you're anywhere in the area, this is the place to be tomorrow night.
Yes.
$10 at the door. Your opportunity to meet and greet with legends. Your opportunity to sit and watch some of the best in West Texas independent wrestling. And when I say that you become part of the show, you become part of the show. I mean, you'll get so engrossed in this that, you're sitting there waiting for the next show because you want to know what's going to happen because of what just happened in this match. And it's so much fun. It's you become a part of it. And I invite each and every one of you to do so. If for some reason you can't be there, heckyeahradio.com. You click on the Square Circle Pro tab, and there will be a link there to watch the show. Make sure if you're not going to be here, make sure you're there because it's going to be wild.
It is going to be wild. And also, we will also have tickets available. Pre-sale tickets for Tornado Slam will be available at the show, $15, and you can get your seat reserved in advance for Tornado Slam on May 4th. So yeah, it's SCP provides an experience like no other promotion in West Texas. Indie wrestling is alive and well in West Texas, and it's thriving. But we are the only promotion that runs in a bar. We are the only promotion that does not promote as family friendly. We are the only promotion that has the largest roster, the most matches. The environment in SCP is different than any other independent promotion in West Texas. And indie wrestling in West Texas is on fire, but I can guarantee you the inferno is inside Jake's Back Room.
And make sure you're there for it. That's all that can be said about it. It's going down tomorrow night. We've got Camino in the chat saying this year is every bit of the word legendary. Go out and support indie wrestling. I can't scream that enough. Support your indie wrestling because everybody you think of when you think of wrestling, if you're thinking about WWE, you're thinking about AEW, every last one of those guys at one point was an indie wrestler learning the business. So you never know. You come to this show 6 months from now, a year from now, you could see your favorite wrestler on a roster somewhere else like that. I mean, it happened.
6 years ago, on this show 6 years ago, we hosted 2 women, one named Teresa Serrano, who has now become Zoe Stark, and the other Thunder Rosa.
Wow.
So indie wrestling is absolutely the starting point for everything that comes afterwards.
Absolutely. Well, Rick, I again want to thank you for joining me on the show tonight. I want to say thank you to everybody in the chat. Get your ticket, get your ass to Jake's. It's going to be great. Of course, your boy going to be front and center for it all. Remember, we do have that Not Your Average Mark Wrestling Podcast merch. Pick you up a hat, pick you up a skull cap, because we got them made. You might as well buy one.
Just bring a lot of money to Jake's, guys.
Yeah, that's
Bring a lot of money.
Bring it all. Bring all the
There's
money.
gonna be it's gonna be like Christmas. So just get it done now.
Well, that's going to do it for us tonight. I want to thank again everybody in the chat. Rick, thank you. I will see all of you at Jake's tomorrow for Spring Break, the literal version, and it's going to be amazing. Until then, I'm Guapo. That's Rick Elsey. We're Not Your Average Marks. See you tomorrow. Yeah.